Chris Schrader is the church advisor for World Vision across the Canadian prairies. Work with World Vision. A lot of people in Winnipeg and Manitoba will be familiar with you, especially right across the prairies. But we've all been paying attention, of course, to what's going on in Ukraine, and nobody better to speak to than folks at World Vision. I know you have people on the ground at the borders there. What are some of the things that you've been hearing? What's going on with people as they're trying to get out of Ukraine?
hmm we have teams that are on the ground near the borders that were there the moment the story broke, the moment we started seeing refugees cross the border. Because we work in almost 100 countries around the globe, we had people that were there and ready to serve. We had resources ready to go. It was a situation where, as we were getting more information here in Canada, there were already World Vision staff at the border receiving refugees as they fled Ukraine, and it was immediate. The response, the ability to be there on the ground. I mean, we've been ramping up. We've been going deeper in regards to how we're able to serve at the borders and serve in partnership with those in Ukraine. But from day one, we've been able to serve.
Now, it feels so far away for us, right? And I know a lot of us have been trying to think, what can I do? Who can I work with? How can I make any difference while I'm here in Manitoba, so far away from this? And there's a really great event that you folks at World Vision are partnering with some others to bring that we can make an impact right here in Winnipeg and Manitoba. So tell us a little bit about One Night for Ukraine.
Yeah, One Night from Ukraine has come from that exact question. What can I do? I'm here in Canada. I seem so far away. And our response is always pray and give. We can be praying for those in Ukraine. That's one of the things that we can do at any point. We can do together as churches, as congregations. And the plan, and what we're looking forward to hosting here in Winnipeg on the 9th of April, is a One Night for Ukraine, a gathering of individuals from Manitoba at Bethel Church, an evening where we pause, from work, we pause from what it is that's filling up our schedules, and we focus in on Ukraine. We take moments to pray together. We take time to thank God for His goodness, but also to pray for the needs that we see so prevalent in Ukraine, and of course to respond to that need through giving.
I think so often, like, we mention prayer and like all I can do is pray, but that really is first and foremost what we
It
should be
is,
doing, isn't it?
yes, 100%. Yeah,
Um,
it is, and we hear stories, and I know there are many churches here in Manitoba that have connection with Ukraine. We know that there are many of your listeners that have connection with Ukraine, and many who have family that are facing these realities. And I hear story after story of how those who are in Ukraine are feeling the prayers of the people. They are encouraged, that in knowing that they haven't been forgotten. Um, if you can imagine being in the circumstances that they're in, we see so many women and children crossing the border, and they don't know what's next for them, and and that's where having our staff on the ground, our volunteers on the ground serving, praying for those individuals, pleading to God, and for direction in regards to how best we can respond, is so key.
so we're going to gather together again. You said Bethel Church for One Night for Ukraine. We're going to pray together. We're going to worship together. Tell us a little bit about what exactly the night will look like then.
Sure. Well, we are blessed to have great friends in the band The Color. Many of your listeners will be familiar with them, and Jordan Jansen from The Color will be joining us as the host for the evening. And we're partnering in with very good friends of ours, the One Worship Night Band, that are, for those who have attended over the years, you will recall we've had a monthly worship night for many years here in the city. Took a bit of a break, COVID hit. They've had some different events that have been more pop-up events in the last little while, but they will be our partners in worship for the evening, and we're very excited to have Richard and Christiana and Felipe and the whole group coming together to lead us in worship that night. We will also be providing updates from Michael Messenger, who's been to the border that evening, both in an update and video from the field. So it'll be an opportunity for individuals to see what's happening currently and to hear what's happening currently when it comes to the refugee situation. And then also an opportunity to hear from one of our local pastors and just to hear how the local church is engaging around this need, and to be challenged and inspired in how we can respond. And then there will be an opportunity to respond for those who are there. We will be pausing for prayer, and that is a very key focus of our night, and the reason for gathering together. And our hope is that people will be inspired and also will feel like they've had an opportunity to pause and to focus in on the need.
We really want people to come and join us at Bethel, but there's also an online component to it as well. People will be able to live stream it. I know some people think like, I don't want to sit all alone and live stream it. I say, don't sit alone then. Like, invite people over to your house or get your small group together or something like that, and gather together that way for the online pieces as well.
Yeah, we're encouraging churches and small groups to gather people together that evening on the 9th at 7 o'clock local. If they can't come out to the event, or if you know of people across the nation, this will be broadcast out so that anybody in Canada can join in. And our hope is from coast to coast that we have individuals that are joining in this event that's being hosted here in Winnipeg, in for the One Night for Ukraine. And so we'll be providing resources to churches who wish to do that as well.
You mentioned, like, obviously we're going to pray, we're going to worship, and then there is a chance to respond financially if we're able to. Do you have an idea right now, like, how are our funds helping Ukrainian refugees through World Vision right now? Some of the things that you folks are doing.
Yes, World Vision as an organization is very focused on the children. For those who are already potential or are already sponsors or donors with World Vision, you'll know that's our heart. Our heart are for the kids. And as we see on the news, it's the children, and I mean, all are being impacted, but the children are displaced. They don't know where their next home is going to be. They've had to leave their home country. And in the midst of that, we are on the ground and we are providing the what is needed for those who are crossing the border, but we're also providing what we call child-friendly spaces and areas where children can go and just be kids, right? Where they can just be children and learn and play and be in a safe space. And that's a key element of how we care for the children as they are in these circumstances that they're not fully aware of. What's next? There are so many questions for them, and so giving them a normalized space, is an important aspect. Of course, there are things like clean water and nutrition and medical and all of that is part of our holistic approach to engaging with families and children around the globe. So all those pieces are in there as well. So the response that occurs that night will go to help us with those efforts, to help those on the ground, to those that are at the borders, and are assisting those in need.
I love all of it, but especially that giving the kids a space. Like, all of us who are parents through the pandemic, we've kind of lamented what our kids have lost and gone through, right? And that's been tough. But imagine then fleeing a war zone and everything that those young children and their parents are going through right now. And then they get this space, and I imagine that kids just become kids again for a moment at least, and play together and laugh together. And we can have a part of that. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
We're going to have info on the website in the story for folks listening that want to be a part of this April 9th. We'll let you know how you can register. It is a free event, but we're going to ask you to register ahead of time, and we'll get you that information. Anything else you want people to know about right now, though, Chris, for One Night for Ukraine?
We know that the people of Manitoba are generous and have great hearts. I mean, you and I are Manitobans, right? So we can group ourselves in there. And there historically, when there has been need such as this, Manitobans have responded. And we see it happening now. We see all of the different initiatives that people are taking to support Ukraine. And I want to encourage anyone who's watching this. This is a night for us to gather as Manitobans, broadcast across the nation, but to gather together as Manitobans around a need, around a cause. And I know Manitobans are going to show up. I know Winnipeggers are going to show up. I know your listeners are going to show up. And mark it on your calendar and be there at Bethel Church, 7:00, April 9th. Be sure to register. We are looking forward to having you join us.
I'm really looking forward to it. Again, all the info will be at chvnradio.com, and we'll be hearing from folks involved with it over the next couple of weeks as well. Thanks so much, Chris, for joining us today.
Thank you.